This is part 2 of the one flag tutorial. This part is dedicated to one thing and one thing only, and that's to place the new flags. This will go for red side and blue side, but I'm just going to show you red side because the procedure for blue side is exactly the same, but obviously on the other side of the map. So we're going to go to our prefabs or prefab search that we had saved, and we're going to get 1F red flag and drop that prefab. And there it is. Oh, change my snap so it's smoother. Okay. First thing we're going to do is we're going to ungroup the entire thing. You're going to pull right on the D-pad and down, right trigger down on the D-pad to snap everything back to back so that that's 90 degrees to the map. And we're going to do a little trick because you see how everything's all over the place on this prefab? We're going to put it all in one place. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Object Properties for the entire group of 5 pieces. We're going to go to Rotation. You see everything's 0. And Position. You see how everything's mixed? What you're going to do here is you're going to push left on the D-pad, right on the D-pad. Go down, push left on the D-pad, right on the D-pad. Go down to Vertical, left on the D-pad, right on the D-pad. And what that does is it puts everything that's in this group on the exact same point. Okay. I should probably have saved the prefab that way, and I might have done that by the time this video comes out. But anyhow, if the prefab's all messed up like that, it was there for a reason because we used to pick them apart and do different things with it, but we found easier ways to place it since then. So what you do next is just push up on the D-pad so that everything's grouped. And you want to make sure that the parent of the group is one of the 3 flag stands that's there. Okay, so that's that. Now, earlier I turned this on an angle, and the reason I did that is we're going to do the same trick we just did, but we're going to grab the flag stand that's on the angle and this flag stand group, and we're going to do the same trick with the position. Go down to Position, left on the D-pad, right on the D-pad. Left on the D-pad, right on the D-pad, same for height. And what that does is it puts our new flags into the exact same position that the previous flags were in. So at this point you can just delete the old flag, and here's the new one. We're going to turn this prefab 45 degrees and maybe drop it down just a little bit. Just drop the whole thing down 1 or 2 units, whichever height you want. Now that's the position. If you're happy with that position, that's where it's going to end up. Whoop, game froze. What happened here? Oh, there we go. It's back again. At this point, you just select it again and ungroup. Okay, and then just verify that you're under Object Properties that all items in the group are the same position and the same rotation. Okay. Very important that everything lines up perfectly. Now there's one item we have to fix. Now this flag stand appears blue, but trust me, there are actually 3. You can see the 3 in my selection number right under the cursor there. There are actually 3 flag stands there. There's the red flag stand, the blue flag stand for when the rounds alternate, and there's a dummy flag stand. And not only that, this flag itself is a dummy. What it means is that they are scripted to only show up for your intro cameras, and then they're gone for the rest of the game. So that way, as I said before, you delete all but the CTF cameras. So the default CTF cameras typically show the flag stands and swoop by them or whatever camera effects you use. You can still use the same ones, and this flag will show up in your intro cam. And then as the players spawn in, the flag deletes itself, and the proper flag spawns right after you delete. You'll see that in game that the flag actually spawns like 1 to 2 seconds after the players spawn in, and that's done intentionally. I don't think I need to explain it all, but there may be we'll probably copy and paste an explanation to the scripting in the Forge Hub tutorial, probably in a spoiler at the bottom. I usually do that so that people who are interested in how these things work can get a good idea as to the scripting is involved. And I tell you, it's an incredible amount of work went into this. But anyhow, back to placing the flag. There's only one thing left to do. And that if you look right down in the center here, there's a joint constraint advanced ball. And what you're going to do is you're going to select that. You're going to go to your object properties to position and check your vertical height is 7.9. So we're going to back out a little bit so we can see what we're doing. It's still selected. You're going to go back to back to the position Z vertical. Now it's 7.9. So what you're going to want to do at this point is move it up exactly 11 units. No higher, no lower. Don't do it by hand. Use the coordinate system, and I'll explain once it's up there. So it's 7.9, and we're going to move it up to 17.9, and then it's going to go up one more, because I said 11, so it's going to be 18.9. All right, so it's going to look like so. There's the ball here, and then right above it is the invisible one for the default flag stand. The reason that's there is this item detects whether there is a flag on our flag stand. And this is the item that triggers the end of round for overtime. It does two things. It serves two purposes. But the first purpose is that when you play a game of CTF, you can set overtime in the CTF game settings. And these aren't, as I say, these are not scripted things. These are built right into the game mode. When you set overtime to, say, a minute, what this does is it detects if after overtime starts is the flag at home, and if so, it ends the round. So that means if you pull the flag with 1 second left, you've got a minute to run that flag to your side. If you get stopped and drop the flag, you've got until whatever time you set the flag reset to in the game settings. You've got until that time to reset the flag, pick it up and drop it again, or whatever. And as I said, you have up to the minute that you set the overtime settings to. But if at any time the other team returns the flag, or if the timer runs out on the flag resets to home. This ball detects that the flag's there and ends the round. So that way you only get that one chance to pull the flag and score it in overtime. You can't run back and grab it again because the round will end. And that's done intentionally, and we play it that way, and it seems to play best. We don't really like the modes where you get like a 3-minute overtime, and no matter what happens, you get that full 3 minutes. It just doesn't make sense. Anyhow, this way the round ends quicker, and you do get that last chance to pull the flag and get it to your base. Okay, and the other thing it does is the flag stands have a nav point, but when the flag is pulled, your team gets a nav point above, the attacker's team gets a nav point above their flag, so that everyone knows where they're running to score it. In case they're not familiar with the map, they're going to get a nav point. So the blue flag stand will have the same ball above it, and that will be the nav point to show you the way home when you're running the flag. So that's why I said it's very important, and that's why it's very important for it to be exactly 11 units high, because the nav point marker that comes with the flag and the one that we're adding to the flag will perfectly align, so that anywhere you see it on the map, you're going to get one diamond and it's going to be inside the other diamond, and they'll be perfectly aligned. So if that ball isn't exactly 11 units above this, that little marker is going to be out of alignment, and if the ball isn't placed exactly above the flag stand, it's not going to detect the flag back at home during overtime. So that's why it's very important to do the procedure I did with the XYZ coordinates and do it exactly as I stated in the video. Okay, that's it for placing the flag. As I said, of course, you're going to do the same to blue side, but that's the instructions for placing the flags. Next up is going to be hidden flags, and I'll explain all that